field, particularly in the pick and roll, that maybe people give him credit for. He can hurt a defense in a surprising number of ways.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. And then for Washington, Nene, he's checked in for Dudley. And Mr. Fundamentals subbed in for Otto Porter Jr. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. He's got 6, 5 on the clock. Rebound by Williams.
Talking about Gortat, he was a late second-round draft choice in 2005. His first 4 years in the league, highly underwhelming. Now, over the last 4 years, he's averaged around 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. Those are good numbers.
Gortat with the block. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Beal. From the arc. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Knicks lead by 3. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Carmelo, some great help off the bench during this first half. What does their contribution mean to this team?
Well, I mean, we always believe that we have one of the better benches in the NBA. When they come to play like we're playing so far, you know, it makes it a tough game, makes it a tough team to beat. And, you know, just hoping we can keep that.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, welcome back to the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny Smith. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. The biggest lead for them during the period was 6. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing.
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You look at the Prophet in this game, he's been everywhere.
That slasher mentality was on display in that first half. He got to the rim consistently.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got that great first step, and he must have had some quickness porridge or something, because he looks a little faster today than normal.
So on the floor for Washington, Nene and Gortat team up in the paint. Bradley Beal is out there with Mr. Fundamentals, and it's Oubre in at the small forward position. Knicks last season had a lot of problems here in Manhattan, and it showed all over the floor, Greg. And you played for this team. You know what it's like to play basketball in New York. Not a good record for them at home last year.
How about finishing 10-31 here and playing in front of a sold-out crowd every night? And one thing about New York, they're going to let you know when they're displeased. Worst home record in the East and second worst home record in the league.
Mr. Fundamentals, so he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And guys, one thing that was obvious to me, last year the Wizards really matured as a team. I mean, they played as if they expected to win instead of a group kind of coming into their own. I thought they just showed a lot more composure and maturity on the court.
And he ends up missing both free throws. As you said, the Wizards did look more mature last year on the floor with their play. They made sure to add veterans to achieve that.
And not just any veteran, but a future Hall of Famer in Paul Pierce. I mean, his presence on the team, I think, really is what propelled him to achieve new heights. And it also went beyond just Paul Pierce. That roster had a combined 490 playoff games. And that playoff veteran leadership, I felt, really helped this young core to grow.
Beal can't get it to go. The Knicks leading by 5. Taken away by Nene. It's Beal on the wing. Passes it to Mr. Fundamentals. Nine feet out. Here's Gortat, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Gortat's got 6.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
New York calls timeout. And for Marcin Gortat, he was such a good fit for the Wizards last season. Actually, the last 2 seasons.
You know, he runs the floor very well for his size. A terrific finisher, solid in the pick and roll, can make the mid-range. You know, he's been one of the more consistent centers in our league.
And Washington making a change. Porter's checked in. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now.
You know, getting back to Gortat, he signed that 5-year, $60 million contract a couple of years back. Raised some eyebrows at the time because he's not a supreme athlete, but his size, effort, and refined skill set have made him worth it so far.
Anthony left side. Deflects the pass. And here we go, the Wizards fast break. Nene, the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. Back to Nene. Cannot hit, and New York will come the other way.
And talking about Gortat, I like what he can do for you defensively. Doesn't really have a vertical, but uses his length and timing to alter shots. And he moves his feet well enough to close out on shooters and also cover the pick and roll. So solid and complete in terms of a frontline play.
Anthony's shot is off.
And that's not the best of shot selection there. The defense definitely won that possession.
Yeah, I think in that case, you've got to go elsewhere with the ball. You just can't rise up over the top of him when he's on you.
And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
Porter with the steal. And Beal kicks to Porter. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Beal. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Some hang time on that rim, puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on his heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
To the right side. Stolen by Cantor. The dish to Burke to end the drought. It's tipped. And here we go. Washington fast break. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. The Prophet's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Well, looking at the Wizards, they weren't as lauded as other teams last season, but the Wizards were a ferocious group on defense. Numbers support that. Their activity, Greg, could really bother teams.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, oftentimes people look at them and think offense, but it really was, to your point, Kevin, the defense was the strength of that group. I mean, they do get out in transition, but it was the defense, I thought, that really allowed them to become elite.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. The long distance 3 is buried. Mr. Fundamentals got 5 points now in the quarter.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. And it's a 6-point Washington lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Here's the Prophet. 20 points for him. Poke loose. Porter with the steal. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. He's looking for Porter and finds him. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. 13 points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Here's Burke. New York, no good that time either.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Yeah, it's palpable, Greg. I mean, clearly you can see the frustration. And it's understandable. I mean, right now they're on the wrong side of a big run.
The third quarter comes to a close. It's the Wizards. They lead by 6. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Every dime is a flavor.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far.
Standing tall like a soldier. These players can't hold us. It's the winner's race. Eating with cannon, eggs at a table, no dinner plate. We the best, get it straight. What's the problem, baby? Raised out of Harlem, baby. Was driving my mama crazy. They ain't trying to get it, so I gotta go get it. Harder than ever.
Wizards leading by 6. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. And New York looking at who they've got. Calderon at the 1, Hardaway Jr. at the 2. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Kevin Seraphin. And it's Williams at the small forward. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
That's what this team needs right now. Solid scoring chances.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Wizards.
They've been penetrating with a certain amount of ease, guys, just as much in this half as the first.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
Unloads from 9. Rebound by the Wizards. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Porter. Stolen by Seraphin. For the finish. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And O'Quinn sends it back. And they get it back. Here's Oubre. Pass to Mr. Fundamentals. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. And Nene, a guy with an incredibly strong start to his career in Denver, the first Brazilian to ever be selected in the first round. Voted, as you may recall, to the NBA All-Rookie team.
Yeah, it came into the league just a tremendously raw talent. Really developed faster than a lot of people expected, but what has been the case for him is the injury bug. I mean, the knee, the foot, shoulder, Achilles, you name it, he's had it, and it's hindered his career somewhat.
And cancer. He's beaten cancer.
That's very good.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sidelines.
Hi, Kevin. Derek Fisher was just going over the plan with his team. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
And as always, Doris, thank you.
Been a good night for Hardaway. He's got 8 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
Yeah, you know, going back to Nene, in 14 years, he's been able to suit up for roughly 65% of the games. That's tough on the team's continuity on both ends of the floor. Injuries have been a part of that, though, and oftentimes those are beyond the player's control.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And you know, guys, the thing with Nene, he helps you in so many ways when he's in there. He's hard to back down in the post. He eats up space. Tough to get around on picks. He has the toughness that champions are made of.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Wizards will retain possession. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Oubre dishes the wall, feeds it to Oubre. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And pushing it up.